if you have either two sides and an angle or three sides. So it's a different setup to use law of cosines than law of sines. And it's based on the information you're given and how, like what you need to find, then you decide which law you want to use. I'm only going to give you one formula for law of cosines because you can use it in any way that you need it based on what you're looking for. And we'll do examples of all of them. So, for example, if you were given like this side, and this angle, okay? So you're given B, you're given C, and you're given the angle between them. We can't use law of sines for this because we don't have any opposite side and angle, right? Based on what we're given. So if we are looking for that opposite side A, the law of cosines says this, A squared, so that opposite side that we're looking for, equals the two sides that we're given, so B squared plus C squared, bless you, minus 2 times B times C times the cosine of angle A that we were given. Sometimes it will happen that you are asked to solve for the angle, right? So there may be a time where you might have all three sides and you're asked to solve for the angle. So you always want to make sure that you set this side that you square is the side that's equal to whatever angle you're looking for. So those are opposing, okay? When we set up, we'll do some examples where this happens. But all you do is set this up and then put it essentially into your calculator. Make sure this is order of operations. You have to do this together and subtract, okay? So the order of operations will matter here when we're trying to put this into our calculator and solve. A given angle, right, 127 degrees. We have a side and a side, and we are asked to solve for x, which is across from 127. Now, our first hope would be that we could use law of sines because it's easier. The formula for law of sines is way easier to set up than law of cosines, but we don't have enough information here to use law of sines. Like, we don't have two angles, we can't like subtract and get a missing angle and solve, so we have to use law of cosines. So, when we set up law of cosines, since we're looking for the missing side across from 127, these two are going to be the ones that go in our essentially A and cosine A. So these are always our opposing, right? Because those are what we have that's going to help us solve. And then we have these two other sides that we're given. So I'm going to set this up using x because that's what we have in our problem. So we're going to say x squared equals. Then we have these two given sides. It doesn't matter if they're A or B or C or whatever. We just know their value. So we're going to say 16 squared plus 28 squared minus 2 times 16 times 28 times cosine of the given angle in degrees, so your calculator should always be in degree mode. Then this is just a job for your calculator. So like once you have this set up, your calculator can do the rest of this work for you. So 16 squared plus 28 squared is 1040. Minus 2 times 16 times 28 is 896. Cosine of 127. So when we put this in our calculator, 896 cosine of 127 is a negative, I think. 127. So this is negative 539.226. That's what you get. Plug in 896 cosine of 127.
Is it negative 896 or?
Well, it's minus. Correct. Yeah. Are you in degree mode? Okay. Since we're subtracting a negative, we end up adding, which gives us x squared equals 1579 point.
Oh, that's what I got.
Okay. Well, then you added them. I just want to be careful that we remember that we're adding and not multiplying.
Rate squared.
Which ones? The first two?
That second term after the minus sign. You put the minus in.
I had turned to 1,000. Now it's squared, right?
Oh, wait, now we have to.
Then to get x by itself, we square root both sides because the inverse of squaring is taking the square root. So that missing side x equals about 39.7 inches.
Yes, you got it.
What do you mean?
Like just put the square root of 16 squared plus 20 squared.
Try it.
I got 30.
Okay, then that's amazing. I always worry about the order of operations with the calculator. Sometimes you have to use your parentheses. Yeah. And if you do that, yeah. Love that. Okay. Set this one up. Set this one up for me using law of cosines. Number 2. Set it up. So I am going to give you a quiz that will matter 4 points on Wednesday. I'm going to start doing this every class. You'll get a homework quiz. No. Because I want to see that you know what we're doing, that you're like doing the work in class. Yeah, in class. It's a quiz over your homework. Well, you're going to miss all this, and then you're going to not get a good grade, and then you're like. Okay. Okay. Do you have this written?
I'm not talking about it, you know.
You scroll up.
I'm not talking about it.
Maybe I can go do my quiz back then.
You start inside the same equation. You just
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah. Yep. You just are going to end up with an inverse cosine at the end. Okay. Well, I'm going to do it real fast. Okay, so we have these two. We're going to say x squared equals 12 squared plus 25 squared minus 2 times 12 times, 25. Cosine of the given angle. Okay? So then when we do our math, we end up with 769 minus 600 cosine of 36. When we do the subtraction, we get x squared equals 283.5898, whatever. Last step is to square root. X equals 24.5. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong one. It's not 24.5. It's 16.8. Okay, let's do one where we have to find an angle. Okay, look at number 4.
Is it the same equation?
Yep. Okay. Watch this, you guys. You will see one like this, and you need to know how to do it because I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I'm telling you now. Okay. Notice that this angle X is across from this 10 millimeters. That means when we set up our law of cosines, 10 squared is going to be the one by itself. We know all the side lengths. Now we're looking for the angle measure. And the side across from the missing angle is the one that we are going to have by itself as our a squared. Okay? So 10 squared equals 11 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 11 times 13 times the cosine of x, which is what we're looking for. Okay, so then we get all of this done. 290 minus 286 cosine of x. Okay, Then we just are going to use algebra. So subtract 290 from both sides because we're trying to isolate our x value. So we get negative 190 equals negative 286 cosine x. Divide both sides by negative 286, which is what, 0.6643, something like that, equals the cosine of x. Now, to solve, when we are looking for an angle, how do we get that x by itself? Inverse cosine. Inverse cosine both sides.
So I can't plug this into the calculator?
Well, yeah, you can. So you just hit second cosine.
Do I get rid of the cosine? At the end, and I get those? You know what I'm saying?
This is what you put into your calculator. And that will tell you the angle measure of that missing angle. So it's about 48.4